This is just a little scene from the past. On my last video, Itch to Switch, that means that I was planning on changing my craft room into a office/sewing room. So let's get started. Welcome back to my home, dear friends, and if we haven't met before, my name is Rebecca. This cabinet was one that I had picked up from Facebook Marketplace, and I have put several coats of linen white chalk paint on it, and I've done a little bit of distressing, and I just need to put a sealing wax on it. And this rug I have laid out at my entryway in my dining room and entry just to lay flat for about a week or so before I put it in my office, and it's smoothed out really great, all ready to go in there. And this chair is from Birch Lane, and I have an ottoman that will match it, and it will go in there also. So I've cleared just about everything out of the room. The painting is done, but I have already vacuumed up the floor. I'm fixing to mop it. Okay, so far, there's the rug. Moved this little table in. And here's my, I call it a dolly. My dolly with her apron on that has Ephesians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I just love that. I got that from Amazon. Got my computer and my printer on this little table. Now I would like to find something that had a lot more drawers to it so that I can store some of my office supplies. But I use that computer for my cameo silhouette. This little chair, I'm not too sure if I want to keep it this color. We're going to bring in the desk, which was the table that my husband had made, and you see me paint it. I'm going to set that in the middle of the room, and it's going to be my workstation. And over here is the chair and the ottoman, and then there is the quilt shelf. I'm going to fold all of my quilts and put them on there, and that copper bucket is probably going to go up the top, but you can see there I did paint the handles a matte black, and I really like that. Hey guys, if you happen to be looking for some of these items, I did place them in my Amazon storefront under office/sewing room. We'll go ahead and get in the furniture in this room. We will start doing some decorating. These are the drapes that I found for my office. I found these on Amazon.com, and I just love the texture and the color and all the lines, and I'm hoping this is going to work in my office. So I'm going to get these ironed up and hung up. If you remember, this was a picture of my vision board, so let's see how it all turned out. When you first enter into the room, I have a apple basket that I had painted, and that has some of my fabric on the rolls in there and some quilting frames and just a couple of little projects in there that need to be done. Now on the stand that I got for quilts, I have hung one of the quilts off the side, and there is the copper bucket with some of the fall throw blankets in there. So coming on around, At the bottom of the stand, I have my scrapbooking and some fabric in a basket that is for some rag quilts for the future. And then this is my quilts that I have put in there. And I put the lighter ones on the bottom. And then that one in the middle is my unfinished. It needs to be worked on. And in that little wire basket, that is a pillowcase doll. And that pillowcase was gifted to me many years ago from a friend that had done the cross stitch work on there, the needlework. So I made that into a little pillowcase doll, and I'm sure that those patterns are still available. You can just Google them and look them up. And then on the top shelf is some of my fall and darker colored quilts. And then up at the top is the copper bucket along with a basket. Moving on around the room, that is my ring light. So until I know for sure where I want this quilt rack to go, because anchors will have to be put in the wall. This is all wood and heavy, so I'm going to think about that a while, but I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. So let's go back over here. We have my little reading nook. I don't have a blanket thrown on there, but I will. And then I just have a little basket sitting there, maybe for extra books ready to read, or if I'm working on a project sitting there, I can just drop it in that basket and come back to it. And those are the drapes that I ordered from Amazon, and I am really pleased. I decided to hang them on the rings, and they're just the perfect size at the bottom, hanging on the rings. I thought they were a little short putting them on the curtain rod. And then this quilt stand was something that I actually got two. A lady had some, I think she was making them, and I don't know, it was like 2 for $39 back when I bought them. So I gave one to my mother, and I have the other one, and it's there, and that is the tulip quilt that my mother made for me, and I've had it for quite a while. Coming on around the room, we'll go up to the wall. That is a round tobacco basket I got in Tennessee, and this room is a little bit different than the rest of my house, and I have a little bit of a primitive style in here, country primitive in this room, because I had the rug and I had a few other things that was primitive. I had that in my last home for a while, and then I switched over and started lightening things up a bit to a farmhouse style. But I thought I have enough on hand to create a country primitive room, and I thought this wall would just be wonderful. So here we are, and that is, let me get a little closer. That is an applique that I did of a salt box barn, and the little sign there says quilt show or sale, and all the little quilts I hand done. All that is appliqued on, and they're hanging over a fence ready to be sold. And so I decided to put that in there as my artwork on the wall. And the lantern does have a little candle. I'll maybe open that up during the holidays. So I just hung that up on the wall. I'm not sure that I'm going to put drapes in here. That is a high window, so nobody can't see them, but I love all the light that it gives. Coming back over here to the corner, there is my dolly with her apron on, and there is my measuring tape right around her neck, so if I need it, I can grab it. Cart on wheels was a gift from my youngest daughter, and I just love it. I have a lot of things on there. I've got paint brushes, pens, sewing stuff, and miscellaneous, some office stuff I use almost daily on the bottom. There is my sewing machine if I need to get it out. It's just sitting right there, coming on around. And I am hoping to replace this table with another table that I can have a lot of drawer space for. On my work table, I do have a couple of Billy Jacob prints to hang in here on the wall, and I may put it over the chair here in the corner, but I just love these prints. Quilt magazine there, and this is my primitive style lamp. That is some penny rugs that I made that I will be giving away shortly, so be looking for that. And then of course the desk, and under that is an old wooden crate that came from my husband's grandfather's shop, and I have some of my primitive quilt magazines in there, and I do have the spring ones on top, and I'll switch those out to summer and when I want to come in and just look at those. The little bunny was a bunny that my sister gave me many years ago, and I'll get up close because she painted a primitive scene on the bunny, the little crow, and how adorable, and I've cherished it for years. Okay, coming on around the room, I have some picnic baskets, and I would like to get another one, and I do use those for storage for projects, and I can just grab that picnic basket, open it up, and be ready to work on a project in the little basket. I may hang that basket up later on, but for now, I like it sitting right there. And that has my Bible journal in there with some art pens. Okay, I almost forgot to talk about the rug. That is a jute rug, and I've had that for many years. I decorated in the primitive style in my last home, and then started changing over to more of a farmhouse style, a little bit lighter. So I decided to put that in, and I think it softens it up just a little. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you have a wonderful week. Until my next video, guys, bye.